ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to episode 2 of the the Recline and Unwind podcast. Still new. I just messed up the entire title, but
I forgot the entire title. It's all good.
yeah, it's cool. It's very early. It's like 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning, um, and we're in downtown Manhattan right now. We're not. It's 12 p.m.
Yeah, I would not even have him over at 7 a.m. That's
Yeah,
way too early.
I'm still in the clouds. 12 p.m. We're in Queens. Not the same place that I was in last time. There's no virtual background. I think it should be better quality than the first episode that I did, which is probably out now. And if you haven't watched it, go check it out. It's a reintroduction to the podcast. But today I have my longtime friend who, again, I don't think we've ever done anything collaborative.
No.
At all. Like,
the closest thing I could think of was playing a soccer game in
Like
the schoolyard.
like years ago. Jonathan Zarate.
What's up, guys?
Insert laugh track.
So I just want to start off.
Clap track. Sorry.
I just want to start off with saying I've been a fan of the podcast for the past 5 minutes. Yeah.
Past 5 minutes.
Long time fan.
We've been live for 1 minute. He's a fan already.
Yeah, I was doing my research. But yeah, I was surprised. I got an email a couple days ago, and then I just saw. I was like, 761. I was like, who is this? I was like, oh. But then I saw a podcast. I was like, oh, okay, all right, I'm interested. I'm down.
Yeah. I remember because we had other things. We were talking about other things. I'm like, yo, check your email. And
yeah, I thought it was something else.
Yeah, it was a surprise email that I sent.
I guess you could say I got blue balled.
Yeah, he got blue balled. He got blue balled into this podcast, and now we're live on a Saturday morning. But yeah, dude, and I had to dress apart. Johnny. That's him. Johnny. John,
yeah, let's go by Johnny.
John. He's an athlete, so I had to dress apart. I'm not really an athlete, so I put on a soccer jersey to play the part to the most that I could. But John, how is it working out, dude? Let's just get straight into it. How is it working out? Because you growing up, you didn't work out, and you slowly got into it, and then now, like that's you. That's you, like.
Yeah, I mean, let's see, like from all the time we've known each other since pre-K, up until like, I think even until like the last year of high school, I wasn't even into like physical activity like that. So then, I guess let's just start from the beginning. What got me into like this whole like fitness thing, whatever, was let's see, all my grades, elementary, middle school, high school, all of it was never like, I never got good scores. Everything was always barely passing, and I was just bad at it.
Yeah.
And in high school, in retrospect, I was like, I would have liked to join something. I wish I would have joined something. Because I also was really sheltered as a kid.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why, as of to this day, I cannot ride a bike.
For other reasons too, though, that we'll get into later. No. Do those factors play into it in a way?
Kind of.
Okay.
Mostly for driving.
Okay.
Mostly for driving, but
all right.
I think riding a bike is like. But so yeah, so basically, my mom signed me up at the gym when I was 14 years old, and at the time, I wasn't really into it.
And we went once together. We went.
I think we went once.
Less than an hour.
Yeah. It was barely any time.
Yeah.
So I remember at that same gym, which I still go to, so it's been like over 10 years.
Yeah.
I remember she would take Zumba classes and everything, so we would come in at the same time.
They had it there?
Yeah, they used to have classes there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but ever since COVID hit, like
that's when they stopped. So it's recent. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, they used to do classes there, and like eventually my mom stopped going to classes, or she would come here and there. So whenever she wouldn't come to a class, I would check in. I was like just swipe my card, and then I would just leave, and I would just go over to David's house.
Yeah.
And then eventually, what I would do is I would stay there for like a few hours, and then before I would arrive to my mom's crib, I would just like go to his sink, splash water on my face, so I could look like I just like worked out.
So you were fooling her the whole time.
Yeah, I was fooling her the entire time until one day she decides to like change her mind and go to the gym when I thought she wasn't, and she asked the front desk girl, she's like, "Oh, where's
my son?"
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh, he left. He checked in real quick and he just left." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So
Damn.
my mom, of course, gave me a vert roll beat down,
Yeah.
and then so I was forced to go to the gym after that, and I started liking it, and then I decided I just wanted to like start filming myself because I thought I was gonna get girls at the time. It didn't. Even to this day, it does not get you. It is not. It's just gonna get you a lot of comments from your homies and everything like that. Like
It's okay. Homies gotta hype the homies up.
yeah,
The girls ain't doing it. The guys are.
you can always count on your homies for that.
For real.
Even if it's explicit as ever.
Very descriptive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much filter you can have on this, but yeah.
I mean,
the messages I get.
It's marked as not for kids, so we're good.
But so then over time I just kept going on to it, and then after, I dropped out of college, and then after that I was like, what kind of decent job can I get? And then I got the personal training, and then after that, so like there's levels to it. Like here's personal training, and like from there I was like, I kind of want to take it to another level because I guess as an adult, all of a sudden I got this competitiveness to me that I never had when I was younger.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into it. First, it was powerlifting competitions, which is basically like who can deadlift, squat the most. Okay. And then after that, it was bodybuilding. And also, I have a hypothyroidism.
What's that?
An issue with your thyroid. Mm-hmm. So like, hypo means basically like it's not producing enough of I think enzymes, something like that.
Yeah.
So basically what it means is for me it will lead to like future hair loss, which luckily not yet.
We're not there yet, guys.
I hope not. I'm not trying to look like Bradley Martin with a hat. So there is that, and it's harder for you to actually build muscle and burn fat, which is like the complete opposite of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
It's like
you're trying to.
I'm trying to pack muscle and lose fat, so it's like, okay, that's annoying. But so I kind of have that, and so with the whole bodybuilding thing, it's kind of like countering each other, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got into bodybuilding instead of powerlifting. Like I had switched courses just because I don't know. The idea of looking like good in that aspect and seeing how far I can like push my body is I think it's pretty cool, and it's like the closest I can look to like a Dragon Ball Z character. So I'm like, all right,
So all right, like that still doesn't. Bodybuilding is just an appearance thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Rather than powerlifting.
Powerlifting is pure strength.
Okay,
pure strength.
So it doesn't matter how you look. It's just if you're
strong, the only thing that besides your strength that matters is like your weight.
Okay.
Because there are weight classes to it, just like boxing or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, bodybuilding. While there's like divisions separated by like your height and your weight. It's mostly focused on like who comes in the most aesthetically pleasing and who's posing the best.
And you've competed in both of them, powerlifting and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
What's the competition that you did for powerlifting that made you decide that you didn't want to compete in it, or what exactly? I mean, wanted to move from that side of the fitness industry, like because now you're just bodybuilding, right?
Yeah, now I'm just like I already announced like on social media a while ago, like I'm retired from powerlifting. Like I did a fair amount of competitions, I won some competitions, and just I guess a big reason why was basically 2021 I won a competition and it qualified me to go to nationals for powerlifting. So I was supposed to fly out to Cali. Unfortunately, I booked it with Spirit Airlines.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
So my flight was like on a Friday in Newark. I think the flight was like at 5 a.m. or something. Mm-hmm. And at 3 a.m. on the way over there, like I get a notification on my email like, oh, sorry, your flight is canceled.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh God. I was like, God damn it. So, and the thing is, I should have also flown out like days before because the competition was on Saturday. So like there was just like no. So
you missed the competition?
Yeah, I missed the competition. I paid for everything. I didn't get my money back. Nothing. So at that point, one of my buddies, who's actually now my bodybuilding coach, he was like, oh, why don't you try out this why don't you try out a bodybuilding show? Just see how you do this and that. And at that point, I was chubby again, because for powerlifting, you just have to be like strength trained.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, cool. And I did like a really extreme. It was a really drastic cut because it was only like, let's see, 3 weeks worth of prepping. Now, usually, you want to give yourself like at least like another like 2 months. Like right now, I have a longer
you
time.
Very compared to what you should have. You did 3 weeks. You tried to do
exactly.
what 2 months should have been in
Exactly.
3 weeks.
Yeah. So then, yeah, I decided to do that, and
we're good. For you guys, it's gonna be on YouTube and Spotify. There's a dog, and we can't really hide the dog. So if you hear it, just a little disclaimer: we're good. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
But yeah. So anyway,
as we said. No, continue though. I think they shouldn't be picking it up that much. You're fine.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah. So then I decided to do it, and I flew out to Texas for a show, and it went well. It was I liked it, but then I went back to powerlifting, and then after a while, like my strength wasn't really progressing that much. It was going like it was, but it was just way too slow, and my genetics are by no means like good for either bodybuilding or powerlifting.
Yeah.
But for powerlifting, like a lot of these like younger kids, like I'm talking like 17 to like 20-ish, like they already like genetically since they also hired coaches, they're already like squatting like 400, 500 pounds.
God damn.
So I was just like to be honest, I was kind of like kind of putting me down a little bit, and at the same time like I don't want to wait too long because like it's like all right, I'm already 24, 25, like I want to compete and I want to win. I want to get a participation trophy. And the thing with bodybuilding is, especially for natural bodybuilding, it's like, no matter the other person's genetics, like if you're still training hard and you're training harder than the person who has like the best genetics, you can still have a chance.
Okay.
So there's that. So I was like, okay, like let me do bodybuilding again, and it brought me to where I am now. So I have a show on November 4th. And
well, that's how you're prepping.
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah. And
yeah. How do you feel?
I feel more confident going into it. I have a lot more time to prep up. I'm just really hungry.
Yeah.
It's really hungry. And the thing is, it does get you, it actually does get you moody because it does.
You get hangry.
Yeah, you get hangry. And especially because it messes up with your hormones. Because, bodybuilding, it's not healthy.
Right.
The dieting is by no means healthy. Like for example, like for women, like it can actually like take away their period for like X amount of time until like it gets regulated again if they like stop dieting and stuff like that. It's because like you need X amount of fats, a healthy amount of fats consumed. So yeah, like there are a lot of things to bodybuilding that's not healthy, but to anybody who wants to like take it to the next level and just test themselves out, like just go for it.
When your competition is here in New York?
I was trying to go for one in New York, but they're all too soon, and
you wouldn't have time to prep.
I wouldn't have time to prep. So me and my coach decided we're gonna do one in Massachusetts.
All right, so it's not that far.
Yeah, it's like a 3 hour drive. Yeah, New York would have been great, but
where do they have them in New York?
When?
Where?
There's like never one in. Well, actually, no, I'm lying. There was one in Queens College. I know it's funny because how many graduations do we have at Queens College?
You had yours. That's it. I saw the one
really?
I went to. I didn't have a graduation for college. Well, I graduated during the pandemic.
High school?
High school was at my high school.
Middle school?
At my middle school.
Elementary. Wait, elementary was?
Elementary, that was in Queen College. It was,
really?
It was in our elementary school.
Wow, I'm sure. See,
I think 125. Your middle school was over there.
Yes, because I'm like, I know I've been there like at least twice for graduation.
I've only been there for one graduation, and it was yours.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even have my college graduation. I graduated on Animal Crossing. Like that's all it was. Like we got our cap. Like we got what everyone came in their favorite outfit that they had, and we just like had fun in the island. That's a COVID graduation.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds better than actually going to graduation.
Dude,
There's no rehearsals.
There wasn't. It's just like everybody coming to my island. Like
Yeah.
that's all it was. But it's crazy because when things were about to get before the COVID was even a thing, I told my mom like I don't want to go to graduation. I'm like, it's
And
just
of course they
insane.
wanted you to.
Yeah, they wanted me like, oh, but you did it. I'm like, whatever. I don't want to go.
Yeah.
Come March, April, everything's so shut down, and I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, I'm really not having a graduation.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted. I would like to go to it now. So, but I guess I got what I wanted without really, doing it.
A little something.
Yeah, dude. Like, I just can't stand sitting there for 3 hours. Oh, maybe more. To have other people that I have no relation.
Yeah, and then you just fall.
relationship with.
Chances are you're gonna fall off afterwards. Like for example, for like high school, I don't keep in touch with like anybody, literally nobody. And like maybe some people have me on Instagram, but like
Yeah.
that's like the full extent of it.
That I'm close with, honestly, dude, I think it's like less than 10 people from
Yeah.
high school. Like
Yeah.
everyone else, like I'm just they're not in my life. Like it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm not in there, so it doesn't. I don't.
Like my circle of friends is literally just like y'all. Like
Mhm.
went to the same elementary, and
Yeah.
like yeah.
And even then, people that you and that I'm close with that from elementary that you're not close with them anymore, and
Yeah,
it's just that's just the way life is, man.
It's funny how like it turns out.
But it's also funny how like we all like somehow just like connect, like they were all intertwined. Like
Yeah,
friends that I have, you're now working with.
that's true.
Like
That's
it's just
true.
the world is just so small. Like they're gonna
Yeah.
connect one way or another.
I think a big piece of that is also social media. Definitely social media.
Yeah. So all right. So in terms of social media, you're always posting there, and a lot of things are funny. A lot of things are true, and then you also showcase a side of the negatives of the bodybuilding part. So I know you go on rants and it's cool and
Oh yeah.
whatever, but like
I like a little outlet,
yeah, and it's funny because sometimes you gotta let it out. So what are the like how you feel as a bodybuilder, as I guess you can call yourself a public figure, low key,
Yeah.
in the fitness industry. What have you noticed is like the bad parts of it? Because
Okay.
there's definitely some parts to it.
So as a personal trainer, like now I just do like freelance work,
Mhm.
right? But like I worked for different
Companies.
for different companies and whatnot. So I met a lot of different people, trainers. So let me just say from the get go, like to become a personal trainer is like easy.
Mhm.
Like it really is. Like I have two certifications: NASM certification and ISSA certification.
Okay.
The NASM one, you actually have to show up to a place and take like a test. I think it's like a 2-hour test or something like that,
Nice.
if I recall. That was years ago.
Yeah.
But then I had to get recertified because you have to recertify like every 2 to 3 years.
All right.
So I decided to go with ISSA to recertify instead of going with NASM just because they had a sale, right? Now with ISSA, you're able to take the test online, not proctored, so you can already know where I'm going
Yeah.
with that. So anybody can cheat with that, and I know plenty of people who cheated with it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's easy as ever. So like, before I get into like when you're deciding to go for a coach, personal trainer, just do your research. Right.
Check what certification they have first.
Exactly. Check. Well, not necessarily check what certification they have, but like if they have like a social media or anything like that, or like if you can try to get your hands on like their track record, like see who they work with, things like that, and like sometimes honestly, like people who have competed, like they will have some more knowledge than those who haven't.
Yeah.
But that's not to say like, oh, just make sure they have competed. Like not necessarily. Just basically just do your homework as to who you're looking for. Because I have come across a lot of trainers who just
don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
or
just
act they are.
Yeah, exactly. And like a lot of them are actually more successful than me when it comes to business because their charisma is like, I don't know, like on the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I'm just like, damn. It's like I'm just saying, damn, because it's like, damn.
It sucks sometimes.
I'm like,
it sucks,
those poor clients, because I'm just like, because that's another thing. A lot of people, a lot of these trainers, right, that I would say, in my own opinion, just don't meet the criteria, right?
Or more successful.
Yeah, or they don't do enough research, because there's constant new research coming out for like for the human body, for fitness, things like that, and they just get the certification. They're like, all right, anyway, I'm gonna teach you how to do some push-ups, but they want to add their own fun flair to it, and like they'll do some unnecessary stuff, and they're constantly switch up the workouts for that client. Now that client is not gonna get necessarily the results that they want, or the results are going to take a longer amount of time because
they're not consistent with the same.
Exactly, because it keeps switching up to do something like fun, like for example, have you ever seen at the gym like that little blue? It's a big blue ball. It's called a Bosu ball, and like you have to balance on it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you'll see a lot of trainers working with this. It's the only really use is for like physical therapy type stuff for like old people, but like for like actual exercise to like build muscle or like shed weight, it's like what are you doing?
Right.
Like you don't need this shit. But a lot of clients sometimes they'll get bored and like I don't want to do it, this and that. But it's like, all right, you gotta build discipline. You want to get the results, all right,
right.
Stay consistent with this, right? And but a lot of these trainers are like, okay, we'll switch up. We're gonna do some mumbo jumbo that looks fun, but doesn't do much for you. Yeah. And like that's one thing that I always refused to do. Like I wasn't gonna like just like kind of like feel like or be a sellout just so I can like get more clients and stuff like that. So like when I first started on social media with this whole fitness thing, like I was trying like really hard, and it felt disingenuous because I was like, all right, I gotta talk a certain manner, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, this and that, and like y'all pointed out to me, my friends pointed out to me constantly, and then like yeah. And it also came up to a point where me personally, I was getting fed up because I kept seeing this, like, for example, I work at X company, and like I would see certain personal trainers, like, like on social media, they're like these happy go, like they look like the happiest persons ever.
Yeah.
And they're preaching about like be a good person, be a healthy person, this and that. And then like you say hi to them in person,
they're Hollywood.
Exactly. So I'm just like you know what? Get fed up. So then eventually on social media, like I will say this though, it did cost me like I guess the algorithm, because like the algorithm just buries me.
Yeah.
Because I used to get like back then when I was doing that, I used to get like 800 likes on something like a simple video of me doing bicep curls.
Yeah.
And now I can like put a lot of effort into a video because I do like video editing. So I'll do some effort on a video edit, and I'll get like maybe lately, if I get lucky, maybe 30 likes,
right,
50 likes, and I have like about 1,500 followers, which isn't much, but like
it's more than that, so you're good.
And I'm just like, I think what was it like yesterday? I posted like a transformation post, weight loss, because I've lost like 16 pounds since I started like 3 weeks ago,
right,
4 weeks ago, and like something like that back then would have gotten like
a lot
of likes. I think I got like 10 likes.
Okay.
So Instagram, what it does, like if you say a lot of curse words or things like that, you'll get shadow banned.
Yeah.
You heard of that?
I heard of that.
Yeah. So I know I'm shadow banned for a fact, especially because some of the memes that I repost are kind of like explicit. But nonetheless, like I do have more fun with my social media now because I get to just literally just be myself and like talk my shit because I can talk my shit because I can back up my shit.
Right. You're not playing a part. You're not being a, what's the word, like a carbon copy of everybody that.
Yeah. And and that's the thing. Like a lot of the fitness industry out here is like everything's like overly saturated. Like everything's just like sometimes you can't tell the difference between this guy and this guy.
Yeah.
It's like they're posting the same content, this and that, and later on, I'm hopefully do like winning bodybuilding shows in the future. There I can get like like sponsorships and stuff like that. Like I am sponsored with a pre-workout company 110%.
Let's talk about that because that's really cool. I'm not even gonna lie, that's really, really cool. How'd you even get that sponsorship?
So that I honestly I consider myself very lucky. So they came out really like late 2019 to 2020, and that's when I was really into powerlifting. So when it first started off, they were mostly geared towards like powerlifters.
Yeah.
And I think I just decided to like message them, and I thought I was just gonna get buried or something.
Yeah.
So I messaged them. I was like, hey, I was like, listen, like I don't have a lot of followers or anything like that. I'm not big on social media, but I'm a personal trainer in New York City. I definitely feel like I can provide a lot of like good stuff to your company, like promote it to my clients, things like that. And honestly, like I genuinely do enjoy your product.
Yeah.
Cause I think this was like the beginning of 2020, and like I had a few months like actually like taking the pre-workout.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed it because it doesn't get you too like jittery, because like I'm caffeine sensitive. Yeah. So that's why when you said like let's get coffee, I was like, nah.
Oh yeah. We're gonna have coffee before this, but
so
water's healthier.
So yeah, I wrote him a nice long paragraph, the owner, Kevin, and then they replied back, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay. And then he was like, yeah, so we can get started doing this, and then we can see what other responsibilities you can have, this and that. Here's your code. And I was like, oh shit.
Nice.
And then I announced it, this and that. And yeah, I've been with them ever since.
And that was how many years ago? Like,
damn, it's been 3 years.
2020.
Actually, I got my feedback wrong. I mean, I got my timeline wrong. 2021, 2 years.
All right.
Yeah. Because shutdown happened March 2020, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you weren't sponsored yet.
No, not yet. 2021. Okay. It was the beginning of 2021.
And the code, I imagine, it's kind of like, whoever you get some sort of cut.
Yeah, I get some sort of
cut. That's awesome.
At first, I started off by selling in person. Like they were like, all right, we're gonna ship you out like.
I remember that.
Yeah. We're gonna ship you out 20 containers. However, what I wasn't like aware about was like.
That's a favorite.
No. Like you have to like keep it at a certain room temperature, or else like it starts to clump up because it's all powder. So like that started to happen. So like I was like, oh damn, I should have been more careful with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't too big of a deal, but like want to make sure
for
like
future reference.
Yeah, I want to make sure like every single person's like getting like the absolute best of the powder. But sometimes they just get a little clumped up.
Yeah.
So then afterwards, I was just like, I don't have the biggest apartment, and so I was like, all right, I'm just do the code. Do the code thing for now. So that's where I've been at with them right now.
Code is John Jon. We're gonna plug that,
just like my Instagram, John Lives.
We're gonna plug that in the description of the episode on Spotify and on YouTube. It might take longer to get on YouTube, but Spotify you can also.
I was actually about to mention to you. I was like, yeah, I think it would be cool if you do YouTube, especially now that like filming the podcast.
Well, the podcast on Spotify now is a video podcast.
Oh, I know. I watched it last night.
Thanks.
Yeah,
he saw episode 1.
Yeah, I left a little comment.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, because it said, I don't know if it's you or it's automated, but it says Q&A. What would you like to see next? And I said me.
Oh really? Oh, I gotta. Damn, I can't even.
Yeah.
I gotta look at it. Yeah, because we added the Q&A.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of content would you like to see? All right. Yeah. So, look, ask and you shall receive. Literally. So this episode is being recorded, the day of the premiere. So I already have my episode out. It's just like explaining yada 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 whatever. This episode is gonna be right after. We have a couple episodes already recorded, but this one I felt like is perfect to just follow up the beginning. But John Jon, definitely take a look into it. It's fire. Like I've never had it, but I've tasted it, and my brother has used it.
Oh yeah,
my friends
his brother. His brother's always on my case about it because he would like. Because he really loves the pineapple mango flavor, and I like if they're out of it, he'll message me. He's like, "Yo,
where is it?"
I'm like, I'm not in the factory, my guy. Like, I don't know what you want to do about it. But yeah, your brother's he's a constant customer. I appreciate that.
Like there's satisfied people with this, so definitely search it up. And I'm not sponsored by anybody, but check it out.
And besides pre-workouts, now they've like ventured off and like they've also done they also do protein.
They're doing protein now.
Yeah, they do protein. Yeah.
See, now I'm gonna say that in.
And it's like not just from whey; it's also like mixed with like egg white and stuff. It doesn't taste like egg white.
Right.
It's just for faster digestion, and it's like faster.
So it'll send you to the bathroom faster.
Huh?
It'll send you to the bathroom faster.
No.
So, okay.
Like you won't get the runs, you won't feel bloated.
All right,
Because whey is just straight from the cow, you know.
yeah. I'm gonna have to do the egg white one then. What
Yeah.
flavors is that?
So far they only have lucuma vanilla. Lucuma is a fruit from Peru.
Mhm.
It's kind of like a dulce de leche type of thing. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not crazy on vanilla, but I'm going to try the fruit one. I'm gonna definitely have to try the fruit one.
It's like caramel.
Your code works?
Oh
on
yeah,
that too?
yeah.
Alright, see.
And apparel.
Oh, apparel?
Yeah, they have shorts, t-shirts, like a lot of graphic shirts. I think have you ever seen like this one shirt that I have that has a tiger on the back?
I don't know.
Okay, keep an eye out for that one. That was like 110%. They have like some cool designs.
I'm always losing. I'm always losing it. That's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool. What you call it? You're all right, but you're always calling these people out. It was what technique wise most of the time.
It was technique wise, and like again, when somebody like I've made mistakes being a personal trainer in the past, this and that, but I've never like see the difference. I feel is when I made those mistakes, I wasn't acting all high and mighty about it, and like trying to like I guess also like being a douche about it.
Yeah,
a lot of these trainers are making like so many common mistakes and errors, and then at the same time they think like they're hot shit. So I'm like, all right, I'm just call out shit without calling out any names.
Yeah,
and I'm not targeting those people specifically, but just in general.
Population.
And it's like if anybody gets offended by it, which I've gotten unfollows from it, it's like, all right, well, if the shoe fits, that should tell you something.
Hell yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
Have you thought? All right, so you're genuine now, but you feel like you're still shadow banned.
Oh, right? I'm pretty sure because I'm like, all right, because I still use some hashtags, like I look on Google. I'm like, all right, what's the trending hashtag in fitness? I guess, and I'll use it. And like, what I kind of don't like about the Instagram, besides the algorithm, is like I used to make cinematic videos, and like now it has to be a reel.
Yeah,
like all videos become converted to reels.
That's what I don't like either.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that sucks because like I loved making the cinematic videos. Like it was shot vertically. Now like
the close-ups of the products.
Yeah. Now everything has to be like kind of like no. Before it was horizontal. Now everything has to be vertically. And I'm like, it's so annoying because
it sucks.
Yeah.
Because if you make it horizontal, it's gonna be like a small. Yeah, it's not.
And like, if you want to get more likes and stuff, you have to use. You should use like
a trending sound.
A trending sound. I'm like, a lot of these sounds I don't like.
Use Cupid.
What's Cupid?
I gave it a second.
Oh, like I want to use songs that I like
that are hype songs.
Yeah. And like some of these are just like some weird like rave music, like but
put some Bad Omens.
Yeah.
Bad Omens.
Yeah,
Palisades.
Exactly. Bad Omens, Palisades.
Falling in Reverse. Bring Me the Horizon. Like
you see, now we're talking.
Like these would be. And I've heard you put them, and they're good songs. It's just if it's not trendy, sadly, like it's just what it does.
Yeah,
like that's what I've tried to do with my music as well. I made a vertical thing, and I have to make it like the ads I get. It's people lip syncing to their own songs, to the lyrics. I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a shot.
Yeah,
and I did it, and it's cool because it saves me the trouble of a whole music video and whatnot, stress. But it's not fun.
Yes,
like I miss having the script to the video, having like a shot, this shot. I haven't done a real music video with that cinematic kind of feel since I haven't filmed it since 2019. That was for Valerie. Yeah. After that, nothing.
And it's like after the editing is done and everything, you look at it and like
it looks so cool.
Yeah, like you kind of feel like a little like proud of yourself in a sense.
And you upload it and no one sees it.
Yeah,
because it's
and now even now like I just don't like the editing like format for Instagram for even a reel. So like I'll spend like maybe like 30 minutes on a reel. And then just to get X amount of likes, like 5 likes, 10 likes, I was like,
it's kind of discouraging. Yeah, it's definitely discouraging because it's all that work, and
so that's why like now I've just been like willy nilly about whatever I post. I'm just like, it is kind of like mentally liberating, but at the same time, like I do not feel fulfilled. If that makes sense.
It's never there. And then people who you feel like are not as maybe qualified is not the right word, but maybe it's because it's them and not you. That's how I feel in music sometimes. It's like, why are they getting
I get it. Yeah, because I've been doing this for 2023. 3, like 6 years,
Yeah.
6, 7 years. Uh, so I'm just like, okay, like, you know, um, but now it's more of a sense of like, uh, now I just like to talk shit for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, I'm just gonna be real. Now I'm just talking shit just for the fun of it.
So after you got caught from your mom by your mom, how hard was it for you to get your like you were forced at that after that?
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to build your own discipline to stay consistent and that it led you here? Like now, if you had not gotten caught, do you think you'd still be like a bodybuilder? Like it's all a chain reaction. I think like you were forced and then you were forced into it and now you like it and this is what you do now. This is who you are.
It's hard to say. It is hard to say. Because okay, so the thing is, uh, growing up, my mom forced me to do a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like anything she forced me to do, I ended up hating as an adult. Like forced me to eat my vegetables. I hate vegetables.
Still hate it.
Like legit forced me. Well, like she would sit me down at the table and like, all right, if you can't solve these math questions on your homework, like you're not getting up to the table. And like, after like a long ass time, I would solve a math question or whatever homework, and I still ended up like failing algebra, geometry. I got terrible.
Right.
And then what else was it? Yeah, like just a bunch of other things. So basically, things that she forced me to do, I grew up. I did them when she would tell me to, and then as I grew up, like I hated.
Yeah.
And out of all the things, for some reason, the gym was like one of those things that I was forced to do, and I just like it was complete opposite. Now it was like, yo, you're going to the gym too much. That's how it started off. Like after she noticed,
She told you were going to the gym too much?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'll be there for hours.
Yeah.
And then and she actually started to think like, oh, maybe I was actually like going back to my old ways and like just bouncing and doing something else. And then she said, oh wow, okay. She's like, oh, don't you think you're pushing it too hard? And I'm like, no. And then so yeah, I don't know. It is tough to say. Maybe somehow, maybe later on,
But that was that kickstart that you needed.
Yeah.
A little push.
Yeah. Because as a teenager, I had a fast metabolism, so I was like, I wasn't fat as a teenager or anything like that. I was already lean, but then as I became an adult, that's when like health issues came about, and then like I could easily put on weight, like bad weight. So I think at some point I probably would have like found myself at the gym trying to like lose weight, and then who knows, maybe I like would have been like, all right, you know what, let me take it to the next level.
Yeah. Let this be me.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
is what I really wanted to be.
Exactly.
It's tough, man, because sometimes like parents, as much as they look out for you, but it's something that's more harm than good.
Yeah.
But I feel it's good that this one became.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess in retrospect, like, I mean, I'm trying to imagine me as a parent in a situation where I have a kid who keeps like, like lying about where he's going, this and that. Like, I'm trying to think like how I would manage it. Like, it's hard to say if there's like a right way or a wrong way, So
there's no right or wrong way.
Yeah.
Like I talked to my dad. I'm like, he's like, yeah, we just keep making mistakes. I'm like, and you're gonna keep making them.
Yeah.
Like it's just not gonna end. Like there's the way life is. Like
life
is full of like ups and downs and like uncertainties.
Yeah.
Things like that. But uncertainty, I have it here that all right. So you've told me that you're not epileptic.
Yeah,
it's not epilepsy.
Yeah, so it wasn't 100% confirmed, but they were like leaning towards like, yeah, most likely, like there's high chances because okay. All right, I guess I'll start from the beginning with this. So 2018, and like I think it was New Year's. Yeah, it was New Year's. I was on vacation in North Carolina and I got a seizure. It was a grand mal seizure, which is like a big seizure.
Okay.
Because like a big population of the U.S. Has epilepsy, but it like what that looks like a regular seizure is like that person could be like talking to you, and then all of a sudden they'll like zone out for a little bit, and it's not that noticeable.
Yeah.
A grand mal seizure is like the person's like foaming from the mouth, they fall to the ground, and then like they start like shaking uncontrollably.
Right.
And in my case, I think it would. I could be wrong. I don't remember. Like they would tell me the first time I bled from my eyes, but they said it could have been from the fall because I fell, like
face down.
I fell face down, I believe. And like the thing is, it was at my uncle's house, and it's pretty high up. The dinner table, it happened at dinner, and his floor is just like he has a really nice house, so it was like I think it was like stone type. Uh, so then, so yeah, grand mal seizure is like a big one, and then like when I would wake up, my body would wake up, but my mind wouldn't. So what basically ended up happening that first seizure was that like they thought I was awake, they thought I was good. They're like, "Are you okay?" And then like obviously people were trying to like comfort me, this and that, or like trying to tell me to calm down. And like I would just I guess try to like think of like a wild animal, like being like backed up in a corner, not knowing where it is, this and that. So like they were telling me like I was like if somebody tried to hold me, I would like push them. Uh, so basically they called obviously the ambulance, this and that, and it took like apparently several EMTs
To get you.
to like restrain me.
Wow.
Because they said like at that point like it was just like full force, like no hold back because I wasn't mentally there. And so yeah, so they took me to the hospital, and they thought it was like it was like an overdose on creatine. That's what they thought.
Yeah, that's what I remember you telling me.
Yeah.
That's what they thought it was.
So I stopped taking creatine, right? I've only now creatine is something you can also find naturally in steak, beans, and stuff like that.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so it's like and it's one of the most researched supplements out there. So I stopped taking creatine, and yet I still kept getting seizures. And of course, they already put me on medications at that point, so I was taking medications, and yeah, I kept getting seizures, and then each and every time I would go, I would tell them like, "Oh, I'm taking protein powder." Okay, stop taking protein powder. This and
So
that.
you cut off the protein powder as well?
For like a certain time.
Okay.
And then they were like, "Oh," then like let's just say another one would happen. Oh, they like, "Have you had any alcohol?" Yeah, I drank the other day. And also, mind you, I've never gotten like, never once have I gotten like 10 out of 10 drunk. Like I can never relate to other people when they're like, "Oh, you got blackout drunk," because they say alcohol can trigger seizures.
Yeah.
So okay, I was like, okay, and you know me to this day, like I don't drink regularly.
No.
So I stopped drinking for like a year. Still got seizures, this and that, and it would always happen around like whenever I was having a meal. So we thought maybe like, oh, maybe you're allergic to eggs or chicken. Yeah, we're just thinking like what foods I was having. I wasn't allergic to anything. So I mean, this was years and years, and like throughout all these visits, they just kept upping my medications. And with these medications, there's a lot of side effects.
Yeah.
Like depression, weight gain, what else? Like I think memory loss and tremors. I used to have a lot of tremors.
Yeah.
Like it was annoying because like if I was trying to show somebody something on my phone, I'd be like
shaking.
Yeah, and they'd be like, "You good?" And I used to I play it off, be like, "Oh yeah, I'm high off pre-workout or something like that." So there was that, and the thing is, they kept taking like MRIs, like brainwave scans, and like whenever somebody with epilepsy, so what it is, it's like a shit ton of electricity going through your brain, and it's always going to leave a mark on your brain. So when they do like MRIs and stuff like that, they'll be able to tell like, all right, something's going on there. And for people with epilepsy, they always give an option like, oh, surgery. They'll see what part of the brain is like very high or common with electricity, and they'll like operate on that part. And so they told me, oh, but we're gonna have to run X amount of scans, and they never found anything, never ever. Do you remember when you load up a video game and it says, oh, warning, strobo lights may cause epilepsy? So for a lot of people, that causes that. So one of the tests was like they had me like kind of like strapped up.
They could have triggered an epileptic.
Yeah, they had me strapped up and like they're flashing lights nonstop for like I think it was like 5 minutes.
That is a long.
That 5 minutes felt like forever.
Yeah.
It just gave me a headache, but nothing.
Yeah.
So it was this year because I was so what was happening with my health last year was I was getting way too many panic attacks, anxiety attacks, etc. Like, I'll mention this afterwards. So then I just kept I was doing my own research online, and I found out there was something called non-epileptic seizures.
Mm-hmm.
So what can trigger that is like traumatic events in life, really, really uncontrollable stress, anxiety, things like that. And so I thought to myself, and your body just like reacts by either having a seizure or it could be doing other things. Um, it has a technical name for it besides non-epileptic seizures. So I mentioned to my neurologist, I'm like, you think there's a chance about this? She's like, yeah, we could talk about it when you come into the office. She put me into the office, and then she looked at like my all the years, all the information that she has, and she was like, she's like, you know what? I think we should run with this. And like the plan is, so this is this February.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna lower every like 3 weeks. We're gonna lower your medications by X amount, and we're gonna see how your body takes it. And like since then, my anxiety has gone down tremendously. My panic attacks have gone down tremendously. And like what I would, so there's something called a seizure aura.
Mm-hmm.
So seizure aura is basically when like
the signs
yeah
is coming.
So what that would feel like was like I'd be talking to you, and then all of a sudden like I have like the longest brain fog ever, or like I can't talk. Mm-hmm. Like I literally just lose my words. I'm like, and I would get a lot of those. But what that could also be mixed up with is anxiety or like a panic attack.
Yeah.
So she was like, most likely because we see nothing in your MRIs and brainwaves over all of these years, and they did like overnight tests as well. Like there was times where I had to stay like for 2 nights at a hospital with like wires connected to my head. So they did every thorough test that they could possibly do, and they found nothing. So she was like, we're actually gonna run with this because there are rare cases of this, but it seems like you may be one of them because we have done like.
We did everything that there is to run them. Yeah, we did everything to find out what it is.
And they said like a big reason we're going to lower the medication because the side effects, since it's anxiety, depression, this and that, that could just be running full circle and causing those seizures.
Right.
So just not helping it at all.
Yeah.
So she did recommend like going to a therapist, this and that, and like so I learned to like just really like just calm down, like. Because I will admit, I do get easily like flustered over like just I guess life events and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. So now remembering in retrospect, when I got my first seizure back in 2018, the day before, my uncle had passed away, who was really close to me. Like I was living with him in Jersey, if you remember the past year.
Okay.
Yeah. So it happened suddenly. Like I didn't take it well at all, and that like it had to have been that.
Yeah.
And it just was coincidence that it happened, like that the seizure happened when I was eating. That because of that, she's like I got like a PTSD type of thing when it came to food. Mm-hmm. That's because all my seizures have only been with food.
Okay.
And maybe 2 of them have been like maybe 30 minutes after eating or something like that. So whenever I go to like a certain place or have a certain food,
it triggers something in there. Yeah.
So like for example, do you remember that one time you went to Jimmy's?
Yeah. That was a little worrisome. I actually got, because I don't know. One, I mean, I've never really had someone that had to take care of having a seizure, so I definitely got worried. But we sat down for a bit. We sat down. You, me, and David, we sat down and we just chilled, like to let it try to pass. Yeah. As best as.
Because like it was months ago, but from what I remember, I was like, I think I stopped because we were trying to cross the street, and I kept seeing like
you had the aura.
Yeah, the aura, and I kept seeing like a multitude of like the same stop sign, and like I kept seeing things that weren't there. That's why I knew something was off, and that's why I told you all.
Hallucinations.
Yeah, hallucinations is a part of that. Yeah. So it gets trippy. So, but I haven't really, for a long time I haven't really experienced that.
When's the last time you had a seizure?
Let's see. I would November when I came back from Texas on the plane.
So we're about to hit a year. We're in June, July.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, all right. We're like halfway in. Yeah. But damn.
Now the only times that I felt like I get those auras is when like there was one time like months ago where I felt that aura kind of in a strong manner, but it was because I had gotten into like a bad argument with the family, so I was obviously like really mentally stressed, and then that was it. But like whenever like I'm just calm and I'm just like
It's relaxing.
collected, yeah. So I've just learned to like just manage situations better and like manage my stress better. And now that I'm more on medications, it's just
you don't need all that in your system anymore.
And here's the thing. So again, each and every time I go to the ER, right? They'd be like, "Oh, like what does he do?" They're like, "Oh, he's a bodybuilder. He's preparing for competition. Does he take any supplements?" Yeah. So like I said, every time creatine, oh yeah, cross that out. Oh, he takes protein powder. Okay, cross that out. And I remember the last time I went, because my brother had came with me to the ER.
The ER you go whenever you have a seizure.
Or
you go just to get checked out.
Not every time, yeah. It depends, like if I fell on something bad or like just to check up on stuff.
Yeah.
But I remember this one particular visit, like this. It was this out of shape doctor, right? He didn't run any tests on me.
Yeah.
He just like he saw my blood levels. He was like, okay, like your blood levels are fine, this and that. Like you're good. Like you had a seizure, but you're good. I'll send you home. Just gonna ask some basic questions like what do you do, this and that, what supplements do you take, and then my brother mentioned, oh, he takes pre-workout, and he's like, and the doctor's like, oh yeah, no, definitely cross that out. I taken like a couple times. Definitely, you don't want to take any of that, this and that, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And now that's the thing. Okay, so doctors.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has their own specific field that they study.
Yeah.
There's ear doctors, there's nutritionists.
Yeah,
everybody has their own different field. Like a primary care doctor has not studied certain things.
Yeah.
A nutritionist and dietitian would know more of that what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Primary care doctor doesn't know. That's why after a while I was like, wait a minute, and I realized that, and I would tell my family about that, and like even to this day they're still kind of like iffy about the pre-workout and everything like that. But like again,
you're still taking it.
I'm still taking it,
and you haven't had it.
Yeah.
So
and when I was having at the height of my seizures,
you weren't taking.
I wasn't taking pre-workout.
So things just don't add up.
I wasn't drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm not doing anything that they're telling me not to do, and I'm getting all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm back on the things that they told me not to take,
and
I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like a lot of things, like in the medical industry, like just because they are like a doctor doesn't mean they're 100% well versed on a certain field.
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to like lose weight, if you're trying to see what supplements are worth taking, you should go to a dietitian or a nutritionist for that, because they're actually studying that. They know the studies behind that, this and that. Like creatine and protein are one of the most well studied supplements out there, and I remember like
I haven't seen many arguments about them.
Yeah, exactly. Really, I remember I had one doctor when I was like a teenager, before all this, just tell my mom like, oh, he started taking protein powder. No, it's bad for his kidneys. It's only bad for your kidneys if you take like an overdose on protein. Right. I'm talking about like 500 grams like a day, like which is nobody's taking 500 grams.
Yeah,
and it's like too much of anything is going to be bad for your water or anything like that. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a struggle for the longest, and like fingers crossed. Yeah.
If we can hit a year, we're lit.
Yeah, and then I could finally start driving.
Yeah.
Because I actually do want to get behind the wheel.
Yeah, my friend has also has epilepsy, and she's definitely on medication and all that. But yeah, I think she made the year. But I think hers is like diagnosed, like they're epileptic attacks. So I don't know the medication must help her, but
yeah,
she made the year without driving, and she was good. I think either there was another time where she was about to make the year, or she had just made it, and then she got to like.
Yeah, that was actually what happened to me in November. I was about to make a year, and then it happened to me on the airplane.
Happened to you on the airplane?
Yeah, on the airplane.
How was that?
It was. I had just finished eating. I remember I just finished eating a burger. I think we'd just taken off. It was like 15, 20 minutes after, and then I felt. So what it feels like for me is my neck getting twisted like almost 180, and I can't do anything about it, and then like it kind of it's
But
kind
it feels that way. It's
it
not.
feels that way.
Your neck is still
I don't know
like,
if it looks that way because like usually when it happens, like nobody happens to be looking at me.
Mhm.
Apparently my friend, because it was for we were flying back from Texas. I was with my friends. One of them was sitting like across, like on the other aisle, and she had noticed that I went like this, like my wrist was like twisting back,
Yeah.
and like that's a big sign that somebody's having a seizure.
Right.
So when she saw that, she was like, "Oh shit, okay." And then they looked at me and like for me, it feels like what is described as a stroke because like I feel like half of my mouth or my face like
Paralyzed?
just comes down.
Oh.
So yeah, that's what that feels like. And then I just remember like brief snippets of like waking up and not knowing where I was. So I kept like trying to like push away from anybody.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like a couple next to me, and like they were just like, "Whoa,
Yeah.
fucking."
Yeah, that was going on.
So it was like the worst place I could ever happen because it's such a tight spot. Like
Right.
thankfully I didn't go like I guess like berserk or anything like that. Like I have in the past. Like one time, because when somebody has a seizure, you're not supposed to like get too close to
You're
them.
supposed to just let them.
Yeah, just make sure they're like on their
pass.
side. Make sure they don't have food in their mouth or anything like that.
Okay.
Now I remember one time my mom, she had hugged me because I kept getting up and then falling back down and hitting my head. So she,
Just want to make sure you can't, yeah.
So then, but again, she shouldn't have. I'm not saying she shouldn't have, but because she was like trying to like hold on to me, I ended up pushing her and she fractured her ankle. That was like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like one big worry that I always had with seizures is what I would do to somebody else.
Yeah.
So on an airplane, it was like, oh god.
You got no stories.
Yeah, but luckily nothing crazy happened. But like, yeah, I mean, it was on a plane, so I was like, oh.
In midair.
Yeah, midair. Yeah.
Damn, I did not know how that would be like.
Yeah. That was November. I was coming back from Texas.
And that was the last time you had.
Yeah.
That's
But
insane. I mean, it's good that you're figuring things out now. That
it goes to show you how just crazy the mind is. I mean, if the mind can trick you to having your body act like it's having a seizure, like I think that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so now it's like, because I am a big overthinker, but now I'm just learning to like, just let things be, and that, and try not to overthink things.
You try meditation?
Not yet. I always get told to meditate. Yeah.
Meditation, yoga. I don't like it.
Yeah.
That might be cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, definitely. Like, I mean, life is stressful, but like, just lay back one day.
Yeah.
It's like, let's chill.
Yeah.
And we're always like busy working or worrying about this and this and this and this. Like, take a day, even if it's not all day, take a little bit for yourself and just relax. Like, lay down and just chill.
Yeah. It's something that I've just been like doing more of.
And it looks like it's helped. I mean, we're if we can hit the year, dude, that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
And let's hope we manage it that year. Because, damn, I don't know. I honestly would not know how to react if I saw that happening.
Yeah,
it'd definitely be tough. Wow. Well, it's good. I mean, but have you found like that working out is like your safe zone when it comes to that? Or
yeah, I mean, like it definitely doesn't cross my mind. The only thing is sometimes like when I do feel lightheaded because I'm obviously exhausted or whatever, like a tiny part of my mind is like, oh shit, could it be something coming? And I'm like, nah, it's fine. Like you're just lightheaded.
You're thinking that it might be the aura just.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, so every time I feel like that 1% thought is coming in, I'm just like, nah.
I get it. It's not real. It's not real.
Exactly. Yeah. And then like it's been working.
You've never had it in the gym?
No, never had it in the gym. No.
So yeah, it might be that over there you're just in your element. You're not stressed. You're not. Worries are all thrown out. Exactly. And then it might be this. I'm no doctor, so don't take any advice from me guys. But it might be the stress.
Maybe you should get a doctor on your podcast.
I should find me a doctor because I don't know any doctors. I know a nurse. Yeah, that's it. I know a nurse and I know a social worker. That's all I know. I don't know any doctors. I gotta see if I can find a doctor. I got messages on LinkedIn though saying, "Hey, like, I'm I'm a doctor. If you would like to, if I would like to be in a, they've reached out, but I don't know if they're legit people or not. So I'm like, hey, if I can, you never know. I might have a doctor on this,
Yeah, just talk about like literally any random.
I'm about to get him to diagnose whatever's going on with you on the podcast. I'm like, all right, so I want you to watch this episode, and I don't know.
And we're like, yeah, that motherfucker just need to take a chill pill or some shit.
Yeah, I imagine he's like, yeah, no, let him relax.
Yeah.
That's what I've been trying to do more lately, though. Like what I did a couple of days ago is I was just so stressed at work. Dude, I had a caseload that I had to just manage. It was on Wednesday actually, and on Thursday, was that day? Yeah, on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, David came over. We did the thing, and after I just literally just pulled out my Switch and just played Pokemon Snap, just taking pictures of Pokemon, like just to unwind.
Yeah, I mean, like I got, a couple months ago I got the PS5, and I got to play like take a break, play some like whatever video game you like to play, and just like kind of like escape from like
everything else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sometimes you need that, especially like after the whole pandemic, dude. Like that was. Yeah. It took the toll that it took on everybody. Yeah. We came right back to everyone, right back to work, and we haven't really relaxed at all ever since. Even the pandemic was like somewhat hard to relax, and knowing that everyone around you was dying.
Yeah. I mean, that was like what, 3 years ago.
That's insane.
Yeah, time flies.
3 years ago.
Time flies.
I don't even know if it's still considered a pandemic or not.
No, now?
I mean, technically, globally, it's still a pandemic, but
definitely not New York City.
Not here. The amount of concerts I've been to.
I was just about to mention concerts.
No one is.
Yeah, I was like, definitely not here in the city.
But no one's taking it as a pandemic anymore.
No, I think you mean in the U.S. Like altogether. I don't know about other countries, but yeah.
I mean, Coachella happened, and they had like 15,000 people.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think everyone's over it.
Yeah. But I think the less we talk about COVID, I don't know.
I mean, I started this mid-COVID, so we're on our way out already, guys. So
it's demonetized.
Imagine. I mean, I'm not even monetized yet. Spotify hit me up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I'm not monetized, but I almost lost this podcast.
How does that work? Like, they're just like, all right, we're taking it down, or
no? It wasn't even me. I was trying to log on, and it said wrong email, wrong password, wrong email, wrong password. What's going on? And so I was locked out. I could not get in. Then I had the app on my phone, and I'm like, this is weird. So I checked my phone, and the email that was on, it's not my email.
Yeah.
It's a letter with a whole bunch of numbers after it at gmail.com. I was like, what? Like, what is like?
So what, like they switch up your like email?
I must have gotten hacked. And the name of the podcast will say the same. The host name, it said Direz, and then my real name after it. I was like, yo, my real name is not on the podcast. Only Direz is, like, nothing else is on it. So I was confused, but my email has my real name. So and you had me contact Spotify, I'm like, I need to get in. And I got in. Like, I luckily, because I still had the app, I had the app that like, I need you to name an episode draft that you have. And I'm like, fuck, I don't have any drafts. So I created one on the spot. And I'm like, I just created one. This is the name. Like, okay, what's the first episode you have? Or name me. And I told them, they're like, all right, you're in. And I got it back. I managed to change my password.
I guess in a way, it's like a little reboot, huh?
It's a reboot in its entire thing, because I literally had almost lost it completely. I would have to start fresh, which is a fresh start in a way, but I still kept all the old episodes on the profile, because we all started here.
Yeah, I mean shit. Sometimes shit hits the fan, leads to something even better. Yeah. Afterwards,
I realized I'm like, if I work that hard to get back into it, to get back in the account, it's because I wanted it that bad. So.
If this shit blows up, I want a cut.
If it blows up, you'll get a cut.
I want a cut.
It's recorded here. I'm not cutting it out, or I might.
Y'all hear this shit. And if he cuts it out, I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, because you gotta watch it. You gotta see how it was. Have everybody watch it. Code John.
If you post on YouTube, I get to like.
Clip it. You can clip it even on Spotify.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think. I mean, if you're gonna screen record.
Yeah.
You're able to do that. Like it's.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I figured.
The whole video, so it's all gonna be there.
Yeah.
I thought about doing it just audio again. I'm like, no, you know what? We're recording it. Let's have it like.
Yeah, because when I picture a podcast, I always think of like a video.
Yeah.
I do think of video.
So
even though I don't really watch podcasts because
Yeah,
my attention span like goes away like quick.
Whether it be a video or audio, like my phone is gonna be locked face down.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna listen, but I'm not gonna be. Watching it. But yeah, guys, that is the episode. Johnny, thank you for being on it.
Of course.
And guys, 110% code John. How much? 10% off? 15?
I think it's 10. I can't do math. I always forget. Maybe anywhere between like 0 to 100% off. Something like
somewhere around there. Just try the code, see how much you get off, and definitely try it out. I didn't know there was protein, so I'm definitely. I actually do want to try.
Protein. We got apparel now. We got the whole 9 yards.
I gotta hit the gym again though. That's one thing. MMA is good, but I can't be an efficient striker if I don't got the actual the power. So we'll see what we do.
Little by little.
Yeah. It's just gyms are always packed when I get out, man.
I know you gotta blink.
I call it membership off. I don't go there no more.
Retro.
None. I'm not in the gym. I just go to martial arts.
Let's go to barbell. It's like on your block.
Yeah, but that's man money too.
It's $30 a month.
Blink was 20.
Huh?
Blink was 20.
Health as well.
That is true. I'd rather pay $30 than die early on in life.
Yeah.
My cardio's good, but I definitely gotta work out.
Or you can just pay $300 a year.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, see that.
Yeah.
I might do.
Yeah.
That I might do. That sounds way better.
And like the convenience of literally being on your block. It's like that's the only reason why I'm still at the gym, because the gym is like it's pretty run down, but it's across the street.
Yeah, everything's right there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into it. As much as I kind of don't want to, I'm gonna have to look into it. I gotta get back in it, dude. Honestly. Stay tuned for next week. We have another guest on it.
Unfortunately, not gonna be me.
We'll get Johnny back. If this gets, let's see, hold on. If this gets 10 Q&A responses, we'll have Johnny back on.
That's all you gotta do. You just gotta do 10. Like
just 10.
If you can't do 10, like I don't know what to do.
Just 10 more. We'll have Johnny back at the end of August, because I think the first month of July is booked, or even a little more into August. So we'll have Johnny back at the end of August, and it'll definitely be a different kind of feel because we got all the technical stuff out of the way.
Yeah.
Now we can go and have some. Maybe we can do an NSFW.
Wait, isn't that like
not safe for work type?
Yeah,
but that's when
it
gets like I can start talking about a lot of different things that we can talk about.
Yeah.
You never know. We go way back. There's things that we do talk about off camera that we might bring it back.
Some dark tales.
We can talk about the time in high school when we went to the Met, the museum.
Wait, where we almost got
jumped.
Oh yeah.
But that's for another time. So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah,
10 Q&As, and we'll get Johnny back, and we'll talk all that good stuff.
See, we just ended off on a cliffhanger. You see that shit?
Yeah. See, now you guys gotta have Johnny back on.
This guy has good marketing, I tell you.
All right, guys. Stay tuned for the next couple episodes. Peace.